Most people think they're investing, but what they're actually doing is destroying their wealth in slow motion. Not because they picked the wrong stocks, but because they started investing in the wrong order. Their credit card balance is quietly growing at 22% interest. Their emergency savings account is empty, and one unexpected expense could completely wipe them out. It's the financial equivalent of trying to build a luxury penthouse on top of a house that doesn't even have a foundation. And yet, this happens everywhere. My name is Scott, and I spend an unhealthy amount of time thinking about money, how it grows, how it disappears, and why so many intelligent people sabotage their own financial future by doing things in the wrong order. Today, we're going to talk about something most people never think about, not what to invest in, but when to invest in it. Because building wealth isn't just about choosing the right investments, it's about following the correct sequence. And getting that order wrong can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. But when you get it right, wealth starts building quietly, predictably, almost automatically. Before we begin, one quick thing. If you want to build wealth intelligently, be part of this community. Subscribe. Your support keeps this channel alive. And if you're stuck anywhere financially, ask in the comments. We grow together. Now, let's start with a truth that might surprise you. According to recent financial data, roughly one-third of Americans have no emergency savings at all. None. The median emergency fund sits somewhere around $500. Think about that for a moment. $500. That's barely enough to cover a minor car repair. Meanwhile, those same people are asking questions like, should I buy Tesla stock? Is crypto going to 10x? Which ETF will make me rich? That's like worrying about which sports car to buy while your current car's engine is about to explode. Before money can grow, it needs stability. And stability begins with the most boring step in personal finance, but also the most important. Step 1. Build an emergency fund. Nobody wakes up excited to build an emergency fund. It's not glamorous, it doesn't generate headlines, there are no screenshots of massive returns, but it might be the single most important financial decision you ever make. Let me introduce you to someone. His name is Daniel, a 32-year-old project manager living in Austin, Texas. Daniel was doing everything right. He was investing in index funds, contributing to retirement accounts, watching financial videos. He believed he was on track for financial independence. Then, one afternoon, his car transmission failed. Repair cost? $3,200. Daniel didn't have the cash, so he did what millions of people do. He put it on a credit card. That one decision triggered months of interest payments that slowly erased the gains he had worked so hard to earn. That's what an emergency fund protects you from. Not just emergencies, but bad financial decisions during stressful moments. When money problems hit and you have no buffer, you start making choices you normally wouldn't. You sell investments at the worst possible time. You borrow money at terrible interest rates. You panic. An emergency fund removes panic from the equation. Most financial advice says save 3 to 6 months of expenses. That sounds overwhelming for many people, so here's a simpler path. First milestone, $1,000. That covers most small emergencies. Step 2. Eliminate high-interest debt. Let me say something that might sound harsh. Credit card debt is one of the most powerful wealth destruction tools ever invented. Average interest rates today hover around 20 to 25%. Think about what that means. If your investments earn 7% per year, but your credit card charges 22%, you're running uphill while carrying a backpack full of bricks. You're losing the race before it even starts. Let's look at another real-life scenario. Jessica, a marketing specialist in Chicago, carried about $7,000 in credit card debt. Interest rate, 21%. She was also investing $300 per month in the stock market. It felt responsible, it felt smart, but mathematically it made no sense. Her investments were earning roughly 8%. Her debt was costing 21%. So every month she was effectively losing 13%. Once she redirected that $300 toward paying off debt aggressively, everything changed. Within 2 years, the debt disappeared. After that, the same $300 began compounding instead of fighting against interest. Debt repayment is often the best investment you can make because eliminating a 22% interest rate is like earning a guaranteed 22% return. Even Warren Buffett would take that deal. There are two main strategies to remove debt. The debt avalanche method, where you pay off the highest interest rate first, or the debt snowball method, where you pay off the smallest balances first for motivation. Mathematically, the avalanche wins. Psychologically, the snowball sometimes helps people stay consistent. Choose whichever keeps you moving forward. But here's where things get interesting, because there is one exception to the pay debt first rule, and ignoring it could mean leaving thousands of dollars behind. Step 3. Capture your employer match. If your employer offers a retirement match and you're not taking it, you're turning down free money. Let's break this down with an example. Meet Michael, an engineer in Denver. His company offers a 50% match up to 6% of salary. Michael earns $70,000. If he contributes $4,200 annually, his employer adds $2,100 instantly. That's a 50% return before the market even moves. There is no investment on earth that consistently offers that kind of guaranteed gain. Even if Michael had some remaining debt, capturing that employer match still made sense because the immediate return was so powerful. Think of employer matching like this. Your company places money on the table. All you have to do is reach out and pick it up. Once you've secured the full match, you return to finishing your debt elimination. And when that chapter is finally closed, something powerful begins. Now you move into the wealth acceleration phase. Step 4. Maximize tax-advantaged accounts. Taxes quietly eat away at investment returns, but certain accounts allow your money to grow without constant taxation. This is where strategy becomes incredibly important. First comes the Individual Retirement Account, or IRA. Unlike many employer plans, IRAs allow you to choose from thousands of low-cost investments, and low costs matter more than people realize. A fund charging 1.5% annually may not sound like much, but over 30 years it can drain hundreds of thousands of dollars from your portfolio. Index funds inside an IRA often cost 0.05% or less. That difference compounds dramatically. For most investors, simple, low-cost index funds outperform expensive managed funds over time. Once the IRA is maximized, the next decision becomes philosophical: traditional or Roth. Traditional accounts reduce your taxes today. Roth accounts eliminate taxes in the future. Predicting future tax rates is almost impossible, which is why many investors choose a mix of both. This strategy creates flexibility later in life, and flexibility is a powerful financial tool. Step 6. The most underrated account in America. Few people talk about it, fewer even maximize it, but the health savings account might be the most powerful investment account available. Why? Because it offers something no other account does: triple tax advantages. 1. Contributions reduce your taxable income. 2. Investments grow tax-free. 3. Withdrawals for medical expenses are also tax-free. Let's revisit another example. Sarah, a 28-year-old nurse in Seattle, contributes regularly to her HSA. Instead of using that money immediately for medical bills, she pays those bills out of pocket and keeps the receipts. Her HSA investments continue growing. Years later, she can reimburse herself using those old receipts, completely tax-free. After age 65, the account becomes even more flexible. It essentially turns into another retirement account. And considering that the average retired couple may spend hundreds of thousands on health care, this account becomes extremely valuable. Step 6. Max out your 401k. After taking advantage of IRAs and HSAs, the next step is returning to your employer retirement plan. At this stage, you increase contributions toward the annual maximum. Why? Because now you've built the complete foundation. You have emergency protection, no high-interest debt, employer match captured, tax-advantaged accounts growing. Now your money compounds in the most efficient environment possible, and compounding over decades is where real wealth appears. Step 7. Finally, taxable investing. This is the step most people want to start with, but it's actually the final stage of wealth building, the taxable brokerage accounts. Brokerage accounts offer freedom, no contribution limits, no withdrawal restrictions. You can invest in anything, stocks, ETFs, index funds, but that freedom comes with a cost, taxes, because wealth isn't built alone, and the smartest investors know something powerful. The goal isn't just making money. The goal is building a life where money stops being the thing you worry about.